Man, cakewalk, easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude.
Terence Crawford has enlisted Floyd Mayweather to help him prepare for his upcoming fight against Canelo Alvarez later this year. Upon witnessing Crawford's improvements, the undefeated boxing legend was thoroughly impressed. Mayweather expressed no doubt that Crawford would dominate the fight, even predicting that Canelo would be knocked out. To further enhance his skill set, Mayweather shared defensive techniques with Crawford, helping him avoid being hit by the larger opponent. One of the techniques Floyd Mayweather taught Terence Crawford was the shoulder roll, along with some footwork drills for Crawford to replicate. It's clear Crawford is prepared for whatever style Canelo Alvarez brings, whether it's an aggressive attack or solid defense. After training, Mayweather reflected on his own fight with Canelo years ago, noting striking similarities between his approach then and Crawford's now. He implied the result will be just as it was 12 years ago, with Crawford emerging victorious. Floyd Mayweather faced Canelo Alvarez in a WBC and WBA light middleweight title fight in September 2013. It was the 45th bout of Mayweather's illustrious career, pitting him against the young Mexican fighter who was facing his toughest challenge yet. The fight was expected to be a tough test for Mayweather, but it ended up being a one-sided affair, with the American winning by decision. Despite the scorecards being closer than many fans anticipated, Mayweather's victory was clear.
I was 36, and Canelo was 23, around the same age. Some of these guys.
Mayweather dominated the fight from start to finish, using his superior skills and experience to outclass Canelo over 12 rounds, ultimately claiming a majority decision victory. However, despite being the clear winner, Judge C.J. Ross scored the fight 114 to 114, which left many in the crowd, including Mayweather, bewildered. Speaking to Fight Hype, the 47-year-old didn't hold back when discussing Canelo's boxing ability. He summed up the fight in 3 words: he was nothing. Mayweather went on to explain further, saying, "I'll tell the truth about Canelo. The guy was easy, a cakewalk. You're all praising him, but he was nothing. I was almost 40, and I cooked this dude easy."
They don't want, it's not that they don't want to see Tank win because they feel like it's beating me because I dominated the fight game for so long. But these same writers out here, they'll praise Canelo. He can pick and choose who he want to.
Mayweather retired just a few years after his win over Canelo, but more than a decade later, Canelo remains one of the biggest names in boxing. He has secured world titles in the middleweight, super middleweight, and light heavyweight divisions, even becoming undisputed champion at 168 pounds. After suffering his first loss to Mayweather, Canelo went on an impressive 15-fight winning streak, claiming titles across multiple weight classes. Now he's poised for another major boxing showdown, with a potential fight against fellow pound-for-pound great Terence Crawford reportedly set for later this year.
World titles and was undisputed champion, I think. The Tank age, the young low champions.
Some experts believe the weight difference could be too much for Terence Crawford, who would be jumping from 154 ounces to 168 ounces for the fight, having only competed once in the super welterweight division. Given that Canelo is naturally much bigger, many feel it could lead to a knockout victory for the Mexican, similar to when he defeated Amir Khan, who also moved up 2 divisions for their fight. When asked about Canelo's power after their bout, Mayweather shared his thoughts, confidently stating that it didn't concern him at all heading into the fight.
Canelo was 23 with 43 fights and 30 knockouts. And the world said he was inexperienced. I was 36.
Mayweather later stated that Canelo's power was nothing he hadn't experienced before, adding, "It's nothing I've never felt after being in the sport for over 20 years." His comments may provide confidence to Crawford, especially considering Canelo has failed to stop his last 5 opponents. The 34-year-old from Guadalajara, Mexico, currently holds the WBC, WBA, and WBO titles at 168 ounces and is set to defend his crown against fellow pound-for-pound star Terence "Bud" Crawford later this year in what could be one of boxing's biggest matchups. Canelo's only other career loss came in 2022 when he was decisively defeated by former WBA light heavyweight champion Mitri Bivol.
With 40-something fights. And to tell you the truth, I was over the hill. And so when I fight guys, when I'm in my 30s, and they're in...
What made the meeting even more intriguing was that, alongside Mayweather and Crawford, Eddie Hearn was also at the training camp to support Shakur Stevenson, creating an unofficial gathering of boxing's biggest names. They say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but in today's world, especially with celebrities around, it's hard to keep anything a secret. And when you add Floyd Mayweather's name into the mix, it's nearly impossible to hide. A recent meeting between Mayweather and the renowned promoter Eddie Hearn in a Sin City gym sparked quite a bit of buzz. While the interaction was filled with playful banter, it was clear that they weren't just exchanging friendly words.
So one day, somebody, because you know I don't have social media on my phone. Yeah. So they showed me Eddie. Eddie was like, "Floyd Mayweather ain't got no money, that's why."
It's worth noting that Eddie Hearn had previously made claims, whenever given the chance, that Floyd Mayweather didn't have as much money as he often stated, and that he was seeking exhibition fights to make up for it. Mayweather earned over $1.2 billion during his legendary boxing career, with significant paydays from bouts against Manny Pacquiao and Conor McGregor. Despite this, recent reports suggest that his current net worth is around $400 million, which has enabled him to maintain an extravagant lifestyle outside the ring. Although he retired from professional boxing in 2017, Mayweather has continued to participate in lucrative exhibition matches against lesser opponents, including the likes of DG and Logan Paul.
Doing exhibitions? No, Eddie don't believe that now.
Yeah. But Eddie will say some shit like that now.
Eddie will say some shit, but no.
The boxing legend has consistently claimed he's earning 8-figure paydays from each exhibition match, even referring to them as legalized bank robberies. When asked about accepting these showman-style events, Mayweather explained that it's all part of building his generational wealth. However, Matchroom boxing promoter Eddie Hearn has suggested in multiple interviews that Mayweather's net worth may not be as high as many believe, citing his lavish spending habits. Hearn remarked, "I don't think he's got the money," he says. "I don't think he needs the money, but when you have that lifestyle and spend the way he does."
How about that? But me and Eddie got it clear, didn't we, Eddie?
Yeah.
One thing, me and my buddy got it clear.
We said as long as it's ain't no sweating. No problem.
The climax came when Mayweather ran into Eddie Hearn in Las Vegas and confronted him about his comments. The undefeated former boxer claimed that Hearn often makes such remarks, but that they had already cleared things up. The two then began joking as if the news were true, playfully throwing barbs at each other while their friends laughed along. The encounter took place at a boxing gym in Las Vegas, where both were in town for the fight between Diego Pacheco and Steve Nelson. As they watched some sparring, Mayweather humorously kicked off a conversation, saying, "So one day somebody told me, because you know I don't have social media on my phone, so they showed me Eddie."
Can't be less than 10. Because then we're struggling for money.
I had to show Eddie some of the accounts.
Mayweather grinned smugly as he recalled Eddie Hearn's comment. Eddie was like, "Floyd Mayweather Jr. ain't got no money, that's why he's doing exhibitions." Mayweather added, "Eddie doesn't really believe that. I know he says things like that, but me and Eddie have it clear." Both Mayweather and Hearn shared a knowing smile, and the pair shook hands. Hearn then joked, "Yeah, as long as it's 10 or 20, there's no problem. Anything less, it can't be less than 10. Mayweather burst out laughing, with a member of his team joining in, making it clear that there were no hard feelings between them.
Imagine how much money Floyd Mayweather would have made if I was his promoter back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Mayweather Jr. mentioned that he even showed his bank accounts to Eddie Hearn, saying, "Listen, I had to show Eddie some of my accounts." Hearn then remarked, "Imagine how much Floyd Mayweather would have made if I was his promoter. Do you know what I'm saying?" It's clear that Mayweather isn't short on cash, especially considering his extravagant spending spree in recent months. The boxing legend has made significant investments in real estate, including his largest purchase yet, spending $42 million on a series of apartment blocks.
Hold me back!
They say there's often truth in jest, but in Mayweather's case, the reality is clear. He remains one of the richest former athletes in the world. While it's uncertain whether he has any more exhibitions planned, he continues to be linked to lucrative return bouts. Although Eddie Hearn never promoted Mayweather, he likely wishes he had, given the American star power. Mayweather's pay-per-view events against Manny Pacquiao in 2015 and Conor McGregor in 2017 still stand as the two highest-grossing fights in modern boxing history.
An exhibition or come out and box and have some fun. I do it because I want to do it, not because I have to do it.
Despite earning an extraordinary amount of money during his over 20-year professional boxing career, there have been stories suggesting that Mayweather hasn't always been wise with his finances. Even in the lead-up to his massive 2017 fight against Conor McGregor, the Irishman hinted that the undefeated former champion might have tax issues. While Mayweather remains the richest fighter in boxing history, his wealth after retiring has been questioned, with Eddie Hearn also raising concerns about Mayweather's financial situation.
I think that Mayweather was unquestionably one of the best ever. But I don't know.